Hi, this is David with WebRageous, and I've been managing Google Ads for real estate investors since March 31 of 2022. So quite a while now. I've been managing Google Ads for over 20 years, and I'm making this video for my current clients who are real estate investors and also for prospective clients. And I want to talk about in 2025 what is working for my clients. And so I've switched a lot of people to pre foreclosure, and that is working really, really well. I had some clients that started to complain, honestly, the end of 2024, early 2025, about results. And we were, targeting the traditional campaigns and keywords that I have for a long time, like sell your home quickly, sell your home urgently, things like that. And honestly, I lost a few clients during that time. And I really had to scramble and put my thinking cap on and figure out what to change. And so, what is working now is switching people to pre foreclosure. And I've got dozens of campaigns for pre foreclosure. Most of my competitors don't have any campaigns or keywords for pre foreclosure. They might have one or two keywords and maybe none. And so what's really unusual about what I do here at WebRageous is I've got 300 campaigns for real estate investors. It's unbelievable. If you call 10 of my competitors and say, hey, I really need hundreds of campaigns for real estate investors and 10,000 keywords, they're going to look at you like a deer in the headlight. They're not going to have any clue how to respond, what to do. They don't have 300 campaigns. They have one or two or three in most cases. Okay, so I want to go over what I'm seeing across a number of my different clients here as who are real estate investors. So this is Charlie, and he's got a good cost per lead across a number of different campaigns, most of which are not pre foreclosure. But even in 2025, he's still happy. And I put all these cryptic notes in here to just keep track because I got what works for one client does not work for another client. It blows my mind. With my bankruptcy attorney clients, it's really simple. I've got 5 or 10 campaigns, and you spin them up, and half or more work for one client, and you can use kind of the same playbook. But what I do for my real estate investor clients is totally different. This client is spending $15,000 a month, and it's going absolutely great. So. Yeah, $100 a lead, $140 a lead. That's what we're seeing for a lot of clients. Some people, they're doing great. It's under $100 a lead. But I'm looking for that juncture of a low cost per lead and high lead quality. It's the ratio of good leads to bad leads. And, I hate to say it, but you get a ton of really bad leads as real estate investors, okay? And I'm not going to put lipstick on a pig. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat this. But you got to hang in there and give this a few months because there's big ups and downs, and that's just the way that it is. And you might have 2 or 3 great months. You spend 2-3 grand a month on Google Ads. You get a deal or two every month. You buy your $30,000 or $40,000 in equity. You get $1,000 or $1,500 in cash flow off of those deals each month, and then you're going to hit a dry spell of a month or 2 or 3 months. And sometimes people throw in the towel at that point. And it's really sad to see, and it doesn't have to be that way. Okay. You just have to be prepared. Look, if you get a $100,000 cash pop, what about this? Why don't you save $50,000 or $30,000 and keep that in the bank to get yourself through the next dry spell? Because it's gonna happen. Okay. So yeah, this is Charlie. He's doing great. Let's take a look at another client. This is a client that does just pre foreclosure. We're doing a mix of pre-foreclosure and other stuff at the end of 2024. They started complaining. Switched to pre-foreclosure. Things got better, then they started complaining again. Then I switched them to just a pre-foreclosure landing page for their pre-foreclosure keywords. And that's worked a lot better. I've got over three or four landing pages for pre-foreclosure. Most of my competitors have a big fat 0 landing pages for pre-foreclosure. You pair the two together, pre-foreclosure keywords, pre-foreclosure landing page, all of a sudden everything works great. Okay. And look at this. So, past 30 days, March, April 2025, You know, got some campaigns here at $66 a lead, $59 a lead. And you know, you got one here, 3 leads at 237, and that's, you know, that's what you get. And this client, you know, they're printing money. They couldn't be happier. Let's take a look. This is Stephen. He's been with me for 2 or 3 years now. And let's see, you know, you got, you know, this campaign here, 12 leads at $66 a lead. It's great. This is why I run multiple campaigns. I'm trying to find a really great cost per lead. And sometimes you got to run things for a little bit before you get there. And the clients that just disappear on me. They don't give me feedback. They don't jump on my support calls. They don't book time with me at booknow.webrageous.com. I don't know what to do to help them. You know, this takes some collaboration, some communication between us, and that relationship is super, super, super important. Okay, let's take a look here. You know, this is the exact match foreclosure campaign for one client. 6 leads at $39 a piece. Okay, this is why I run multiple campaigns. Is sometimes you just get really, really lucky. I tend to focus on exact match and phrase match. You know, in general, they tend to work a little bit better. If you're going to run broad match, you got to have a stellar negative keyword list. That's why I've got over 5,000 negative keywords. And you don't typically find that at most of my competitors. But I got this broad match campaign for foreclosure. 4 leads at $35.89 for this client. It's working great. But what I do is I run everything through this lead tracking system. And, you know, you can see here, you know, 72 are quotable, 48 are pending, 237 are not quotable, 176 are not set. This client needs to go in here and grade more of their leads. Okay. You're going to get an email for each lead. Is it quotable? Yes or no. Is it a good lead? Yes or no. You're telling Google either yes, send me more leads like this, or no, don't. So if you can't get in touch with people, they're just not picking up, typically you're going to rate that a no. If you get in touch with them, maybe they got some equity or a low interest rate, you're going to rate that as quotable, yes. Okay, and that tells Google, send me more leads like this. This, just the fact that you fill this out, improves your lead quality by 19%. Okay. And so let's take a look at reports. Let me show you how this works. You see, like I said, what works for one client doesn't work for another. But I'm able to look at an aggregate basis across all of my clients that are real estate investors. What is working and what is not working? Okay. What's the ratio of good to bad leads? And I also look at that, you know, on a client by client basis, because what works for one client doesn't work for another, right? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. So for this foreclosure campaign, you know, it's 11 good leads to 5 bad leads, 2-to-1 good to bad. This is amazing. Okay. This is the one you max out and you spend as much money as you can because it is awesome. It's raining money. This is just the regular foreclosure. It's 1 good lead to about, you know, 2.2 bad leads. So, you know, this is one I might want to, it's not bad, you know, it's just not as good as the other one. Foreclosure exact match, 4 good leads to 3 bad leads. Okay, that's when you want to max out. But remember, I can't do my job if you are not grading the leads. Then I don't know which campaign is the best. Now, typically what I do is on the 1st of every month, I do a big deep dive and reshuffle the campaigns, okay? If clients aren't happy, I'm going to start to try new campaigns, bring those into the fold, turn off the ones that either have a high cost per lead or not the best ratio of quotable and not quotable leads. Okay. So for all my existing clients, try to get your feedback done that last week of the month before I go in and make a big optimization. So super, super important, that relationship that we have. Send me an email, even if it's just a sentence or two, once or twice a month. Get on my calendar, booknow.webrageous.com. If you're a prospective client and you're running Google ads for real estate investors, why don't we do this? Grab a time. Let's talk. I will do, at no charge, an analysis, a review of your Google ads account. I'll tell you what's working, what's not working, and what I would do differently. Okay? So for this client, you know, it's just really great to be able to pop in here and see which campaigns are pulling the best. And let's take a look here at another client. This is Stephen, conversion rate, 16%, ratio of good to bad and so forth. And then I can run a report, just like I showed you for the other client, and see which campaigns are pulling, because some clients do better with pre-foreclosure, others with other types of leads. Now, what I want to stress, okay, speed to lead is so essential, okay? You need to get back to people quickly. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Okay. And so here, yeah, just really need a lot more data to make sense of this. It's not really statistically that relevant, except for, November exact, one good lead to three bad leads. I mean, that's okay. It's average, right? Foreclosure, one good lead to two good leads. Okay, that's helpful information. This client here, let's take a look. I think this client does really well in BC2, but so many leads are not set. All of my clients need to do a better job of logging in here so that I can do my job and help you. Okay. That way, just automatically, I'm going to start to turn off the campaigns that have a higher cost per lead. That's obvious. That's easy. But also the best ratio. Let's see. So November is pretty good. This works better than average for this client. 20 good leads to 28 bad leads. Cash house buyers 1-to-1. That's great, right? BC2. Yeah, okay. So recently not doing, as stellar as it was. One good lead to two bad leads, which is still great, right? Okay. Pre-foreclosure, you're going to get a mix of people who lost their home yesterday, and in a lot of states that's too late, but there is a redemption period in some states. So talk to your coach, do a Google search, look in AI. If it is a homeowners association or tax lien, sometimes you have a redemption period of a while, of months to get that house back, right? Other times, if that person didn't pay the mortgage, it's gone. Or maybe you've got a week, or maybe you've got a month, okay? So you got to research that when you get those leads where the sheriff's sale, the foreclosure sale is in 1 hour, 1 day, right? But, if you get them a month ahead, sometimes they're not desperate. Like, yeah, I might want to get another loan. Maybe my uncle's going to give me some money. Maybe I can sell it. Maybe I can rent it. Maybe I can get, caught up. And so, it's about developing a relationship with those people, trying to help them. Okay, if they really feel that you're on their side, okay, and everyone else is like, do you want to sell your house? No. Okay, have a nice day. Bye. But you stay in touch with them. But what happens when they run out of options and it's 2 days before the sheriff's sale? Yes, they're going to lose their house, but they don't want to get their credit screwed up. So you take that house sub 2, and it is yours at that 3% interest rate. Or you just bought, $30,000 or $100,000 in equity. Okay, so it's about that relationship. What about the people that don't get back to you, that ghost you? Okay, you got to be persistent. That's where having a CRM that automatically texts and emails them can pay big dividends. Or maybe you just hound them, keep texting, keep emailing them until they tell you to take a hike, right? So be persistent. That is really the key. And let's say they block you on one number. Well, have your husband or your wife or your daughter or your son or your cousin call them from another phone number and see if a slightly different strategy on a slightly different day yields a different result. Okay? You might be pleasantly surprised. So, yeah, make sure you talk to your coach. Make sure you jump on the support calls. Keep reminding me once or twice a month. Are things working? Are they not? Are you getting deals? Are you making money? Is your ROI good? Pay attention to the campaign name. Okay? My clients, they're going to see the keyword and the campaign name for each lead. And you're going to be able to notice. You can track that at leads.webrageous.com. And by the way, if you're not a customer, maybe you don't want to become a customer, you just want this lead tracking system, let me know. You can pay me for it. I can set you up with click fraud monitoring so that if you get someone that keeps on clicking on your ad to run up your budget, or they fill out your form 3 times, you're like, I don't need this. I don't need to pay to have this person click on my ad again. We can block their IP address. It's really cool. Let's say you're happy with your Google Ads campaign, but you don't have the best conversion rate. I can sell you a website, 15 different landing pages, and you can try and find the best one. I've got an awesome site that is set up for enhanced conversions, but when cookies get sunsetted, how are your campaigns going to run if you don't get conversion data? That's going to be interesting when Chrome uh, displays that pop-up eventually that says, do you want to allow cookies? Just like on your iPhone, when you get that message, you want to allow this app to track. What did everyone say? No. What's everyone say? Do I want to allow cookies? No, I don't want to be tracked, right? But that's the backbone of conversion optimization that happens in the background automatically. That's what drives Google's bidding strategy, is that conversion data coming in. So when cookies are sunsetted, you're screwed. If you don't have enhanced conversions, which I do on my landing pages, it's going to get interesting. Things are going to change dramatically. Okay. So another thing to remember is keep following up with people for months. I've had clients that have gotten deals from leads that they got 6 months ago because they kept following up. Okay. Okay, let's talk about your landing page. Okay. This is my homepage for my clients. And I got a bunch of different, I don't know why this get your cash offer thing is misaligned. It doesn't, when I copy this over to the sites actually for clients, it works out fine. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, we can put your picture in your video here, which is really cool. And you don't necessarily need that on your landing page, but we have that on the thank you page. If you don't want your photo or your name there, fine, we'll rip it off. But you want to keep selling it. Set up on your thank you page. Thanks for filling out the form. We'll reach out to you soon. Continue selling. Have your photo, your video, your bio, and your phone number and your email address there. Okay. Let me show you this. Let's take a look. This is one of my more popular landing pages that works great. Sorry, this is kind of cut off. Let me see if I can resize this thing just a second. Okay, I can't get Chrome to resize properly, but anyway, you get the idea. I can put your phone number on the landing page, and some people love it, some people hate it. Some people are just caught off guard when someone calls them out of the blue and they're not prepared, they don't know the address, and some people are able to roll with it. Okay. So different strokes for different folks. If you don't want your phone number here, that's not a problem. We'll put it on just your thank you page, which I highly recommend, because then someone fills out your form, you get it, you start to analyze the deal, you're looking up comps, you're getting ready to call them, and then Mary Jones gives you a call. And so at least have it on the thank you page, and I can do that. I can do whatever you want on these landing pages. So let's see. Let's take a look here. Again, I'm sorry, this thing is cut off. This is one of my foreclosure landing pages. Okay, this is great. Anyway, I'm going to resize this. Behind on payments, sell now to avoid foreclosure. But anyway, I got a bunch of other ones. Yeah, let me show you this. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah, this is another behind a payment, sell now to avoid foreclosure. Got a happy photo there. Let me see. We got landing page 22 set up. Yeah, this is great. Let me resize this here. Yeah. All right. So anyway, you get your bio there. So we just keep testing landing pages until we find what works for you. So what else can I tell you? Yeah, this one doesn't quite load, but I got a bunch of landing pages. Kind of cool. So we can just keep testing until we find what works best for you. Okay. So this really is a long-term thing because I keep testing and creating new campaigns and testing them, seeing which works best. Every year it's going to change. Okay. And, it's not uncommon to have a bad month or two and then we need to make changes. And by then I've got more statistics on the best campaigns or the market shifted. And so what worked 6 months ago doesn't work now. Another thing we do is change locations. I like targeting, the larger the area we target, the easier it is to get it to work. Okay, if you want to do just one county, the chances of you having a failure and it not working double or triple. If you want to target an entire state or 10 or 20 counties, chances of success start to go up. If we can target 5, 10 states, 45 states, chances of success goes up. Some people, they just want to do metropolitan areas. So we'll do 100 metropolitan areas, 20-mile radius. Okay, that tends to work well. The 50-mile radius doesn't work so well anymore because rural leads are, sitting. So those are some of the things that I know about location targeting. And you just got to keep trying, keep at it, keep making changes, keep reinventing yourself. And that's, the relationship that we develop. And, keeping in touch with me. What's working, what's not. What else can I say? So yeah, just the biggest thing is for my clients, don't disappear on me. Let's keep in close contact and keep making changes until we get to a good spot, and then we're gonna run things for a little while and just make smaller optimizations. So any questions, let me know. If you just got a quick question, send it to me, david@webrageous.com, webrageous.com, booknow.webrageous.com. I can do a free review of your call rail if you're using that for call tracking. If you've got a great account manager, things are going pretty well, just jump on a quick call with me. Let's take a look at everything, see if I can find something to make it better. And also, let me show you how to do a backup of your Google Ads account. Because what happens if you hire the wrong person or the right person makes some changes that you can't undo? What if you answer that call from the Google rep? And there are good ones, there are bad ones. They give some good advice and some bad advice as well. So you got to be real careful with the Google reps because it's as a client, you don't. It's just very hard to know what is good advice from the Google reps and what is bad advice, and so you can really mess up your account. That's why there's multiple ways to make backups of your accounts. And just as a favor, if I don't know you, things are going well. Hey, let's jump on a call. I'll help you make a backup of your account. No charge. If it's just 10 or 15 minutes, hey, no problem. We've made it. I've made a new friend. You've made a new friend. And if someone screws up your Google Ads account, whether that's the Google rep, I get several calls a year from people that have their Google rep mess things up. And then they want to, revert to the way it was, and they can't. Okay. So anyway, let's connect. Send me an email. Go to booknow.webrageous.com and I'd love to get to know you and see if I can help make your Google Ads account better. Thank you so much, and have a great day.